Are you looking for a giveaway in the MET exam? Well, good news. That's what we're going to talk about today because in MET, the giveaway is a reading subtest.
Welcome back to 9.09er English, and this is the last video in our MET series. 3 weeks ago, we focused on the most important subtest, and that is speaking. Why the most important? Because it's only in speaking where you are required to get 55 over 80. Well, for the rest of the subtests, you can get 50 over 80 or 45 over 80, and you can still go to the United States of America. The week after that, we focused on the strength of the Filipinos, and that's MET writing. But why the strength, you might want to ask? That's because every week we have reviewees getting the perfect grade of 80 over 80 in MET writing. The last week, we talked about the challenging bit of MET, and that is listening. Maybe because there's no grace period in the beginning to read the questions beforehand. But again, the good side is you're not required to get a specific grade in MET listening. Even with a lot of mistakes, you can still work as a nurse in the United States of America. But this is the subtest we'd like to talk about. We'd like to talk about because in other English examinations, there's no such thing as bonus. No such thing as giveaway. And in this video, you will find out why Sir Philip and I have agreed to call this bonus. This is the MET reading subtest. So Sir Philip, why do we say it's the easiest subtest in MET?
It's ridiculous. There are 3 sections. The first section is merely about grammar. It's exclusively about grammar. It's sentence completion, and it's multiple choice. So there is no identification, there is no true, false, not given, there's no matching headings. So the answer is right in front of you. And so you don't even need to know the grammar rules specifically to know why it's correct. Of course, it would be nice if you do, especially for the slightly more difficult grammar questions. But think of it this way. You're given 4 options. Some of these options, you know that they're wrong because they sound wrong. So you could already increase your chances of getting the correct answer. If you eliminate one, from a 25% chance as a 33% chance if you eliminate 2, and you can usually eliminate 2.
Sure.
Then you have a 50% chance, just like flip a coin. And so imagine if you also have some knowledge of grammar. So in that sense, you don't have to be a master of grammar, you just have to be exposed to it so that you develop an ear for the language, and you can already, by simply using that method, to have a higher chance of getting the correct answer. So
That's
it's a
the
bonus.
first part.
That's the first part. The second and third parts is where you have to do actual reading. In part 2, you're given 2 sets, and you're given 1 text per set. So text set 1, 1 text, set 2, another set, and then you're given multiple choice questions about this as well. The topics are accessible. They are about chocolates or strawberries. So nothing about Jupiter or mining or things like this. So they're relatable. So that's good enough. What makes it even better is that sometimes the questions tell you exactly where to go. Like, look at paragraph 2 and sentence 3. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. What makes it even better is that you can highlight, similar to other computer-based English exams. You have the option to like click them, and then it would stand out in your sight, and it would be highlighted like a highlighter. And it will appear yellow so that you can narrow your area of analysis so that you know precisely where you're supposed to be looking. The section 3 is where you're given 2 sets of 3 texts. So set 1, text, text, text. Set 2, text, text, text. And you have to answer multiple choice questions in that as well. So it's just slightly more challenging in the sense that you have to figure out which of those 3 texts where you can find the answer, things like that. But really, not much of a challenge. Maybe because as well, the topics that come out are relatable. Therefore, no jargon, no unexplained jargon. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have specialized knowledge to understand it. So I was thankful that this subtest, this giveaway subtest existed. You have 65 minutes to accomplish the entire test. Does anyone take the entire 65 minutes? Like, I remember finishing in around 20, 25 minutes, and that's with check-in. So You're not expected, of course, to answer quickly. But you can if you want to. And the advantage to that, as we mentioned in the previous video, is that if you finish in reading early, then you're fresher when you get to the last subtest, which is speaking. So we're very grateful, thank you MET, that you made the subtest this way.
You might be wondering why Sir Philip highlighted the fact that it will tell you where to find the answer. That's because for all other English examinations, there's no clue whatsoever. Like, you have to read the entire passage of 7 paragraphs, and you are on your own to figure out where the answer is. But only MET tells you, go to paragraph 2, sentence 3, because it's where you will find the answer. And that's why it's a bonus, it's a giveaway, because this is something that is not available in all the other English examinations. It's like, okay, come here, let's go to this part, because this is exactly where you're going to find the answer. Good for you, because there are free MET practice tests on the website of Michigan Language Assessment, the mother institution, the owner of MET, or the Michigan English Test. Now, if you need more practice tests, MET Practice Test Book is available in Amazon. All you have to do is search for Michigan English Test or the MET. And that's why 9.09er offers live and interactive lectures for MET from Monday to Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. so that you get to talk about techniques and test-taking strategies that will help you not just pass, but get the perfect grade in the easiest subtest in the MET, and that is the reading subtest. Now that you've completed the 4 subtests of MET, the next thing for you to do is to verify with your employer or your recruitment agency or the individual or agency processing your application for visa screening and license endorsement. If that state where you're planning to go to accepts MET, hands down, choose MET, because this is the English exam, which is the easiest to pass as evidenced by the passing rate. And with just 1 to 2 weeks, you don't have to resign from your job just to focus on your English test. Thank you, MLA, for introducing our dear nurses to the Michigan English Test. Are you preparing for the Michigan English Test? Nothing to worry about, because 9.09er English has created a Facebook community for our dear healthcare professionals wanting to take the MET. Just look for Michigan English Test or MET Philippines Support Group. Join the group, meet fellow examinees, and share experiences, and together we'll help each other in passing the MET.